Hey guys, I wanted to give you an update from my last video um, where I talked about how camping saved my life. And thank you guys for the awesome response. Um, Lots of support, and just thank you so much. And I shouldn't be surprised given the community that Steve has built. Just thank you so much. I'm still sober. I've been sober for almost 11 months. So coming up on a year. Um, so I wanted to just give you that update. And I also wanted to start a new series called Stories from Rehab. And I thought a really good way to kick that off would be, since it's Halloween, to tell you a story about how my room at rehab was haunted. And I know you're thinking, whatever, man, you're at rehab. I mean, it's not exactly the most sane place in the world. And you're right. um, and some rehabs are better than others. But so let me get to the story about how my room was haunted. So my roommate was a radio station engineer. And so we were both really kind of scientific minded. So we kind of went into this. So just kind of preface this that we're going into this as skeptics. Um, the first thing I noticed is that they had one of those motion sensor paper towel dispensers by the sink. And the sink there's two hospital beds and in your room. And the sink is almost directly in between the two beds at the foot of the beds and the front of the room. And the paper towel dispenser is situated to the side, and there's a mirror in front of it. And the paper towel dispenser would just randomly go off by itself in the middle of the night. And we're just thinking, okay, well, that's just kind of weird. But it also happened to other people. It also happened to staff. And it's only in this one wing of this rehab building. The other wing didn't have any of these problems, but these paper towel dispensers would just keep going off by themselves. And so my roommate and I, being the skeptics that we are, were like, okay, well, it's situated in front of a mirror. Maybe there's something about, like, when we walk by the mirror, it sets it off, or there's some way that the light is reflecting off of the mirror and hitting that sensor, and it's setting off the paper towel dispenser. And so here we are, like, dancing in front of the mirror. Um, Walking back and forth, trying to at different angles, trying to figure out how to make this paper towel dispenser go off in a way where you aren't making direct contact or directly activating the motion sensor. And no matter what we did, we could not make it go off in a way that was not just directly interacting with the motion sensor. So we have no idea. Although it did give some entertainment to the staff, since they saw these two guys dancing around in front of a mirror. They probably just chalked it up to, it is rehab. So another thing that used to happen was thumps and bangs and what sounded like a mouse climbing around in the garbage in the middle of the night. And it would wake you up out of dead sleep. And it sounded like a mouse climbing around in the garbage. And so, but you'd get up to go investigate, and there's no rodents, there's no mice, there's nothing climbing, no bugs climbing around. It's a very clean place, so it wasn't like cockroaches or anything like that. So that was another one, and that happened on multiple occasions. On another instance, there's two rooms and there's a shared bathroom. It kind of reminded me of Marine Corps barracks, actually. You have two bedrooms and you share a bathroom and shower between the two rooms. And so I'm in using the restroom, and I hear thumping and banging coming from my room, and the radio turns on. And I'm like, what the heck? I'm thinking, okay, it's just Mike just in getting something. I don't know why he would turn the radio on and leave, but okay. Although he is a radio engineer, so I mean, I don't know. They do weird things sometimes, I guess. I don't know. I was in radio for a while, so I've seen some engineers do some strange things. But anyway, so I went out and there's nobody there. And I asked him, I was like, did you come into the room and turn on your radio and leave? And he's like, no, I haven't even been down there. So I don't know. I don't know. I think it got to the point where we actually named them. We believe that there was two different entities that we were interacting with, or that were just messing with us. It turns out that the facility that we were at was an old nursing home, and we found that out after the fact, after I had brought this up to my counselor at the time. And she's like, "Oh yeah, we've seen some things on camera, like books moving, um, and just kind of strange lights at that end of the hospital wing." And I don't know. I I think if you experience something that you can't explain, I suppose it's easy to chalk it up to paranormal, but I certainly cannot explain some of the things that I experienced. And again, I wasn't the only one that experienced that. Like other staff had experienced that, and they had seen things on camera. So I don't know, but anyway, that's a story from Rehab. And happy Halloween.